Okay, let's learn how to use the mattress stitch to seam two pieces of crochet together. So, when you're seaming two pieces together, you can either seam with the stitches on top or at the end of each row. Just make sure that if you're doing the end of the rows, that you're doing the stitches evenly along. For today's tutorial, I'm going to show you how to work the mattress stitch, and we're going to go right along the edges of our finished pieces since the stitches will be easier to see. So I've got a long piece of yarn already threaded onto my blunt tapestry needle, and I'm going to be using a contrast color just to make it easier. So we're going to start at the bottom of our work, and we're going to be going from the bottom of our work up through the top, and we're going to be zigzagging back and forth on either side. So to start, I'm going to go through that first stitch, again going from the bottom to the top. I'm going to leave a small tail at the end for weaving in, and then I'm going to go over to the next piece, and again going from the bottom to the top and going through both sides of the stitch. I'm going to pull my yarn through there, and I'm not going to pull tight just yet because I want you to see how the thread and the yarn goes through. Now we're going to go back to the first side and go through the second stitch from the bottom to the top again, and then back to the next side of our work piece, and again go through the second stitch from bottom to top. And we're going to continue to go back and forth into each stitch, always working from the bottom through the top. So we're going to go from the right side bottom through the top to the left side bottom through the top, and back and forth, zigzagging across our work. And this is called the mattress stitch. Okay, I'll do a couple more, and then I'm going to show you what happens when we do pull it tight. Okay, so here let's go ahead and we're going to pull our yarn to tighten up our seam, and you'll see that the pieces just easily come together, and you can really barely see where we've been working. So let's continue on, again working from the bottom of our piece to the top, going through the left side and then going through the right side. And again, we're working through every single stitch. So if you were doing this on the ends of the row instead of at the tops where your stitches ended, you'll just have to make sure that you're evenly placing your needle up and down the row at the end of the row. So as I go along, I'll continue to tighten up my yarn a little bit. You don't want to pull too tight because you don't want your seams to pucker. But if you decide to use this method of seaming, once you get the hang of it, it goes pretty fast, and you can kind of pull tight as you go instead of waiting until the end. I just did that so you could see how the yarn goes across, so you know where to put your stitches. So here we are almost to the end, continuing just to go back and forth, again always bringing our needle up from the bottom through the top, and always going through both sides of the stitch. Again, if you wanted to only go through the back loops or the front loops of either side, that would be fine too. So here's our last stitch on either side, and that completes our seam. So pull it tight just to make sure, and you can see that this one is a little bit less visible. You won't really see the yarn too much. And then if we flip it over, here's what it looks like from the other side. And this one I do either way. I either do it with right sides together or wrong sides together. Either one looks good to me. But that's how you work the mattress stitch. I hope that you'll try it soon.